Okay, ready? So my name is Scott Stone. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and I met Daniel and Ingvild 2 years ago in Bergen, Holland at one of their workshops. Pretty much completely by chance, I heard about this event unfolding and bought a one-way ticket from Germany to Northern Holland without any admission ticket or return train. Um, I think it was the first time I allowed myself to trust my gut. And what I got was an expansive opening to the possibilities that can occur if you're willing to lean into your fear. And since then, I have seen the applications in every area, nook, and crevice of my life, from my relationships to my business to myself, and the relationship with all of them, and how if I choose to be small and lose my breath and my ability to be present, how I let myself shrink, and how it's easy to fall to the level of your fears and be content with whatever the outcome you're given is. And I think seeing a training like this and the marketing that occurs, it's easy to look and think, I can't do that. What if I get hurt? What if I can't get in the ice? Or what if something happens? But we never give ourselves the benefit of what happens, or what if I succeed? What if I try? What if I love? What if I start my own business? And there's just as much possibility to invite there. And I think that's the beauty of a training like this, that the way it's constructed is around shattering expectations and around belief systems and around how present do you really think you are? How much training, how much self-awareness, how many books? It doesn't matter, right? How much can you focus on your breath? Sitting in ice, or meditating on a lake, or just being present in a conversation while other people are talking. And I think for that, the people who look at this, there's two demographics I see. One is absolutely, hell yes, I'm in. And the other one is, I don't think it's for me. And I almost think that it's for the latter even more. The people who don't believe in themselves, who don't think that they're capable, who don't see the magic and the miracle that they are. That's when I lean in and I'm like, I would try this. I would look at this. I would take another slant and see what would be possible for you if you were everything you thought you weren't.
Beautiful. And 2 years ago, you were in Bergen, North Holland. Now you're here in Norway at our 5-day training. And indeed, you say people expect a cold and to deal with that, and probably some breathing. But can you elaborate for the people watching this to give them a little bit of feeling what it was for you besides the cold this week?
Yeah. So for me, 2 years ago, four years ago, I started looking at some of these practices and started training the mental and physical fortitude of my body. 2 years ago, I met Daniel and Ing, and then I really actually started taking it serious from a non-ego perspective. Now I look at it as there's so much more. You can train yourself to sit in the cold. You can train yourself to run a marathon, but can you train yourself to not run from your fear? Can you train yourself to have the uncomfortable conversation, to walk away from a relationship that doesn't suit you, or a job that doesn't suit you, or a lifestyle that doesn't suit you, and not fear that you won't have money or fame or fortune, or worse, acceptance? Can you love yourself enough to know that on your last dying breath, the thing that you're going to care most about is, did you live true to yourself?
Yeah.
And I think that is where these trainings, especially this 5-day workshop, really brings you to the point of, are you willing to listen, even when it's scary? Even when you're worried that someone will judge you, or that maybe you didn't do this long enough or hard enough, or even the opposite of, I didn't feel called to do it, and so I chose myself in the face of fear and shame and blame and guilt. And I think that is the biggest awareness and the biggest lessons and practice I've taken away from this week, is really looking at the transition back to my daily life of how do I listen to feedback in a way that is another person's perception and not critical, not someone cutting me down, not they're taking something out on me. How do I look at things not from a victim perspective, but more from a responsibility, that I have everything inside of me, that I need to do everything I'm capable of, and the things that I'm not supposed to do aren't for me.
No. Beautiful. And before we started this recording, of course, we did a hike today, 2 hours. It's minus 9 degrees Celsius outside. You walk outside for 2 hours with only shorts and shoes. You can focus on just the physical part of it, but what were your mental lessons that you learned, Scott, in that? Because you said some beautiful things.
I think looking at an endeavor like that is so unique. In today's day and age, it's very rare that we actually have to survive. You go 10 hours without food and you're pissed off, or you don't have Wi-Fi on your plane and you think that you don't have time to do the work, and then your boss is going to be pissed. But have you ever really struggled to live? Are you alive, or are you living? And the big thing I focused on while I was walking was really being present. And I could think about what my girlfriend's doing across the world, or a number of different things, but instead I chose to focus on how many shades of green there were on the leaves and the trees and the bushes, and how much nature thrives, and how beautiful this orchestra of energy that surrounds us is if we choose to just look. Stop looking here and look up. It's happening right here.
Wonderful.
But we're so busy. And if we stop and we slow down and we get in touch with ourselves, the opportunity to witness, experience, and embody pure love it's breathtaking. You have to experience it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.